Good night through Papua New Guinea and welcome to yet another episode of Sports In. As always, we have a lineup of sporting stories and trending sporting updates from over the course of the last 7 days. Now, for those who've missed out on our season opener last week, this new season has a fresh lineup with some new features such as the Tokyo 2020 segment, of course, and the Have Your Say segment. Now, Bradley, last week was quite a busy week for us, especially with the OFC teams arriving and eventually the matches on Sunday and yesterday as well.
Yeah, of course. You know, it was a hectic weekend of sports in the nation's capital, Port Moresby, with of course the OFC Group A games,
yes, of course.
Qualifying rounds, 2 matches already. We're looking forward to the last one on Saturday.
Yeah, and such a prestigious regional event to be happening here in the country in such a long time.
Yeah, it's great for football in Papua New Guinea. You know, there are many football lovers who follow the world game in the country, and it's good to see our very own Hekari do battle on home soil, and great to see a number of fans standing up to support the home team.
Absolutely. We'll take a look at the review of these matches during the show. Now, apart from that, you'll also catch a fair bit in the Tokyo 2020 segment where we feature our PNG lifters and where they're up to and how many more qualifiers to go. And we will also review the Have Your Say segment where we discuss NRL great Darren Lockyer's involvement in rugby league competitions and events in parts of the country, while he is a shareholder in Mayor Resources Holdings, a company pushing to mine coal in Gulf Province.
Yeah, well, look, before we take a look at all those amazing stories we have in store for you tonight, let's take a look at the scoreline. For those of you who have missed our season opener last week, the scoreline is where you get some updates of our local competitions.
We begin tonight's lineup of stories with the launching of the 28 SP Sports Awards. Achievements in Papua New Guinea's sporting front will be celebrated once more as the event is fast approaching. This prestigious event was launched on Tuesday here in the capital.
The timeline for the 2020 SP Sports Awards, the nomination opens as of today and closes on the 3rd of April. The nominations are compiled by the PNG Sports Foundation on the 10th of April, and for 2 weeks it goes through the selection panel, where the selection panel sits. That's from the 13th to the 24th of April. On the 30th of April, the announcements are done, and then we have the awards presentation night on the 30th of May.
Over the last 28 years, the SP Sports Awards Committee has reviewed more than 100,000 finalists and from more than 5,000 nominations. Notable nominees from the past include the headhunter, Stanley Nandex, rugby league superstar, Marcus Bai, Superfish, Ryan Penny, Golden Girl Dika Toa, powerlifter Linda Paulsen, of course track queen Claire Whistle.
This being the 28th year of the Sports Awards, an introduction of a new category now makes 13 categories of the awards, although this one will not be open to public nominations.
Last year we introduced a new category called the Stan Joyce Award in recognition of the contributions done to our past MD towards the Sports Awards. The Stan Joyce Award will go to the corporate companies, and the criteria of the award there's 4 criteria. One is the longevity. 2 is the creativity behind their support in the community. 3 is the actual impact of their support in the community. And 4 is actually achievements, if they've won some accolades along the way, or if some of the young people that they developed have scaled up in their career. Our panel consisting of PNG OC, PNG SF, Sports Foundation and SBB, as well as some independent representatives, will assemble to be judges of this particular award. So it's not going to be the normal where we seek nominations from the general public. This will be a closed in-house, but of course done with the utmost of integrity. Ladies and gentlemen, with that I want to thank you all for being here today to witness the 28th SB Sports Awards. We look forward to seeing all the nominations roll in recognition of the 2019 sports achievements.
The rest of the categories are as follows: Best Male and Female Athlete of the Year, Best Junior Male and Female Athlete of the Year, Community Sports Initiative of the Year, National Performance of the Year, Team of the Year, and Best Sports Person with a Disability. Along with Sports Official of the Year, Sports Media Award, Photo of the Year, and People's Choice Award.
It was let's say, an eventful calendar last year. We had the staging of the Pacific Games in Samoa. We had the Kummels and the Orchids win at home, win a test match on home soil. Other things, we had the Barramundis qualify for the T20 World Cup. That's going to happen later on in the year. So we're really looking forward to seeing the nominations roll in.
President of the PNG Olympics Committee, Sir John Guise, also shared his thoughts on the importance of the Sports Awards.
So it's a milestone event that we look forward to every year, and this year won't be any different. And our aim is to lift the bar every year with whatever support we do or on the actual night. So I'd like to thank the organizing committee for their hard work. Still a lot of hard work yet to come, but the success of our athletes and officials is shared by the nation. I'm appealing to the national federations: do what I tell the athletes in weightlifting to do. Don't worry about your opponent, it's you and the bar. So I'm encouraging all of you to nominate your athletes and officials, and it will be an honor to make it into the final 3. And if they're so lucky to be the winner, then so be it. But I'm encouraging and appealing to all the national federations to ensure that we do nominate as many athletes and officials as possible.
Nominations will close on Monday, 3rd of April. And in the meantime, nomination forms can be collected from the PNG Olympic House here in Boroko, NCD, or through the website, that's www.pngolympic.org, or on Facebook and Twitter pages, or you can email events@pngoc.org.pg. Nomination forms are also available at all SB Brewery outlets throughout the country, and they can be dropped off either at the PNG OC office here in Boroko, the PNG Sports Foundation office at Sir John Guise Stadium, and at any SB Brewery office nationwide.
We'll go for our first break now, and on the other side we check out the SP Hunters, the new look. Don't go away.
Welcome back, you're watching Sports Scene. The SPPNG Hunters opened the year on an exciting note, playing host to the Cappers in their first trial match here in Port Moresby. This is the first season for the Hunters under a new coach.
The SPPNG Hunters start off fresh this season, the first under new coach Matthew Church.
Please get behind us and support us. I have created a fair bit of change in my coming into this position, and there is a different mindset in the way that we're going to play, and it's going to take time. So a little bit of patience. I know that you all expect results. And don't worry, I've got high expectations of myself and of the group, and I look internally first. So if we can do something better, I can certainly look at it each day. I look at that. One of the mottos I've got we've just done up some signage, so one of the mottos I have in my office is chop wood and carry water. So regardless of the result that's happened, I've got to get back to work the next day.
The hunt is on for the 2020 season. The 2017 Queensland Inter-Super Cup premiers bring in a mix of youth and experience in the final 30-man squad.
I think all the teams in the Queensland Cup always look forward towards playing our teams, our boys. So with our boys and with the country and the people, our people are very passionate about the game, and our people's expectations are also very high as well.
The young players coming through are excited to be part of the country's premier team.
Enjoyed every moment, the training, everything. The head coach Matt learned so much from me. The different things about on and off the field, and how to come up a good person off the field and after rugby league. So enjoyed every moment with the guys, with all the guys as well.
Leadership is important in any team, and it's gone to the more experienced players.
It is required for us to, come in together and gel in and work as hard as we can together as a team. It won't take a miracle by one player to win us the game. It will take an entire team effort to be able to go out there and reap the results that we want. And for that, it doesn't happen out there on the field on game day. It takes all this time behind the scene where, away from all the spotlight and away from everyone. That's the time where, we build ourselves together. Just not really big things, but little things like, encouraging each other, trying our best to be positive in everything that we do,
I respect him a lot. He's been doing a lot of community work and stuff with the youths back at Talks and anyone else. So I trust. I've been working around, behind the, backyards of what he's been doing. So I've been following him and stuff. So with him being selected as a vice captain, I really respect him, and I know he's going to support me well and lead their boys this season. Yeah.
The Hunters 2020 season is dressed in a new fresh outfit. This backed with fresh, new, genuine merchandise.
This has been part of an ongoing partnership between the PNG RFL and Jackson PNG over the last 3 years. And it's been given an opportunity to our regular families and working class to afford merchandise, not only to wear in the day-to-day, but also to wear and come support the SPPNG Hunters in all of our home games, and also those that are outside of PNG as well.
The SPPNG Hunters opened the year with the first hit out at the Oil Search National Football Stadium in Port Moresby this Saturday.
So I'm just looking for them to compete on every play, just be able to turn up. I know that what we've instilled in the pre-season, that they'll put their best foot forward. There's a lot of pride in this group. They certainly have mentioned to me about wanting to restore that pride in what the Hunters means to them and to our sponsors and to our fans. So there's a lot of pride in that. It's fairly motivating as well. We've I guess coined a bit of a phrase in our pre-season, knowing that if we're going to achieve anything this year, we've got to achieve it together.
They play Central Queensland Capras at 3 p.m. as part of their pre-season match.
Still on Rugby League, and the two NRL clubs, the Canterbury Bulldogs and the Cronulla Sharks, face off on PNG soil for their trial match, the first in over 20 years in Papua New Guinea.
I have really enjoyed it. It's a great place to experience, and obviously they've got a real passion for their footy over here, and great for the players just to experience a different culture as well. It puts a lot of things into perspective for us as people, things that we take for granted. but yeah, the football-wise, mate, it's outstanding. The facilities are here are really good, and obviously had some really strong performances through the local team, the Hunters, and the Kummels as well. So yeah, it's really looking forward for Papua New Guinea football, rugby league.
An amazing opportunity and experience to come to PNG and promote our game of rugby league, which is so the locals are so passionate about. You know, I think that experience in itself is going to be awesome for the youngsters that I brought over. It's also a wonderful opportunity for the Cronulla Sharks to build on our Pacifica strategy, which we've only recently created a partnership with a Fijian side, the Kaviti Silktails, and part of that was to also expand and promote the game in the Pacific, and when the Bulldogs approached us to play this game up here, we jumped at it. So it's just a wonderful opportunity. It allows the youngsters sort of first crack of pulling on the jumper and sort of putting into play what they've trained so hard for over a long pre-season, and sustained a few of them then. And once you get to this stage where you're pulling jumpers on, you know that you're getting to the pointy end of your pre-season and things are starting to get pretty real.
I actually go for the Roosters, but I just came because of I wanted to meet Dylan Napa.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're happy with finally meeting him?
Yeah, I met him, I talked to him, and then we took some pictures, and it was so fun. Yeah.
Okay. So you're turning up for the games come Saturday?
Yeah, of course, I'm gonna come. I cannot miss it.
I support Sharks, and the team that I support is really. When I came here, I'm happy. I'm so proud.
Yeah, not much. Some of us have been fans of the Dogs for a really long time, and it's a really good opportunity to meet the players themselves. So yeah, really excited.
Good on home soil. Any favorite players in particular?
I'd say for myself, some of my favorite players are not here anymore. But I think Josh Jackson, Lachlan Lewis, Jaren Okunbo, and then a few new players. People like Dylan Napa coming over to the Dogs, so it's really good. Yeah.
Okay. So you're turning up for the games come Saturday?
Definitely. I'll be here on Saturday.
Thank you, through.
Fantastic initiative, not only by the NRL but by the Sharks, by Canterbury, to bring a game here. Like I said, to see what the Hunters did in 2017 to win a Queensland Cup. We know how much the people of Papua New Guinea love rugby league. It's important for us to come here and visit the people, spread the good message of the game, and come and learn about what our neighbours essentially. So I think it's the boys are going to really. I'm thankfully retired now, and I don't have to run out in the heat. But I'll be definitely here to support, and I think it'd be a great opportunity for the people of the area to come out and see two NRL teams, first grade teams, professionals meet their stars, and learn more about the game. And
all day.
There you have it. Be sure to head over to National Football Stadium to catch these games. Don't touch the dial. Tokyo 2020 coming up next, where we take a look at PNG's top lifters and their efforts for qualification for Tokyo Olympics.
You're watching Sportsing. Thanks for your company. With 155 days to go before the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, PNG weightlifting president Sir John Guise says it is Morea Baru, Dikatoa and Stephen Curry who will be attending at least 2 more qualifiers in the next 2 months. Dikatoa, for one, looks to make her 5th Olympics appearance.
For the 6 Olympic qualifiers for Tokyo, we have the 2 remaining ones. That will be the Australian Open Weightlifting International Championships in Canberra on the 28th of February. And the other will be the Oceania Commonwealth Weightlifting Championships, which is a gold event that counts towards major points for the Olympic Games.
In order to qualify as per the rules of the International Weightlifting Federation, a lifter has to compete in 6 international events starting 18 months out from the Olympics. That is for all who do not make the top 8 in their categories.
At this stage, you've got to be ranked in the top 8 in the world to qualify automatically. Otherwise, we have to then qualify through the Continental Championships, which is the Oceania Championships in April.
For lifters Dika Toa, Morea Baru and Stephen Curry, the Continental Qualifiers, that's the Oceania Championship, is the best place to make their ultimate attempt.
And that's the best avenue for our elite athletes, Dika Toa and Morea Baru, as well as Stephen Curry, to attend that. And that's the best avenue for us, and I repeat that, for both of them to qualify, because they are the best in the in Oceania in their respective weight categories. And with Stephen, we've applied for universality positions for the 3 of them, not taking anything for granted, but that will ensure that at least we are fallback situation, and I don't expect fallback situation for Dika or Morea because they're ranked very highly. And after consulting Paul Coffer, I'm very positive about them qualifying through the Oceania Championships in April.
While Dika and Morea are sitting at a comfortable ranking in the top 20 in the world, it is Stephen Curry who will face stronger challenge from Samoa's Don Opelongi.
With Stephen, we have a challenge from Samoa, young Don Opelongi, who is ranked ahead of Stephen and has attended 3 gold events plus 2 others, and or 1 other, and the last 2 remaining one will be the bronze event in Canberra and the gold in Nauru. You know, we give every opportunity to our 3 elite athletes to make it, and we'll do the best we can to ensure that they do get to Tokyo.
Dika, on the other hand, who has had a weight category reduction from 53 kgs to 49, is on the brink of making history, as her qualifying for Tokyo would make her the first female lifter in the world to make a 5-time appearance, and she says she's working hard towards that. Hi there, I'm here with the chef de mission for Tokyo 2020 Olympics for Team PNG, Miss Tamzin, Wardley. Tamzin, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, it's a pleasure, absolutely. Here we are at the SP Sports Awards, so it's always good to talk about achievements, and the Tokyo Olympics are going to be the next ones.
Absolutely. Now, as the chef, of course, you'll be in a better position to tell us a little bit about where preparations are up to for Team PNG or your team, the general managing team as well. Where are we up to now?
Yes, so the Olympics is very challenging. It's quite different to the other games because so many of our athletes actually have to qualify on merit to get there. So it's going to be a very small team in the end, maybe only about 12 athletes we're hoping to get through. We've currently got 13 sports that are still trying to qualify. So we've got 24 individual athletes and 1 team who are still trying to get on the plane to go to Tokyo. And it is incredibly challenging. It's very tough just to even, qualify for the Olympics, let alone, try and achieve once they get over there. So really most of our focus at the moment has been on the qualification events. We're doing the normal things the general team management will do. We're organising flights, and we've been over and inspected the village and met with the Tokyo 2020 organising committee a number of times, organising uniforms and all the things that we normally put together. But our main focus is on qualifying the athletes.
Now, obviously, after the qualifiers, we'll be expecting the nominations and the justification process to take place. How soon do we see that happening?
So the justification process is rolling out right now. The deadline was actually last week for all those sports to put together their nominations. But again, because it's a qualification exercise, the athletes, if you qualify, then obviously the JC is really just making sure on compliance issues rather than anything else. But our officials always have to go through the JC process as well to make sure we've got the best team possible. So yeah, so that's all started. And as each sport follows its own qualification pathway, we find out over the next few months which athletes get to take part.
And you'll be really busy in the next few months as well. All the best to you and your team.
Thank you very much.
You're watching Sports Scene. Mixed results in the Group A and B of the Oceania Champions League for Papua New Guinea champions Lae City and Hekar United. But first, here are the highlights for Lae City. After a draw in their first match of the OFC Champions League, PNG champions Lae City in Group B were out to make a mark. They did just that in the second match against Lautoka from Fiji. Missed opportunities from the Melanesian brothers saw the lads from Lae doing their kicking practice on Lautoka's goalmouth.
Goal for Lae City. Lae City coming into the box. Lae City again. And another goal for Lae City. A through ball again. Another chance. And the ball goes into the net.
Lae went to the break 5 up. It was rainy Lae goals at Luganville Soccer City Stadium in Vanuatu. 2 more goals in the second stanza saw Raymond Gunemba, Nigel Dabinyaba, and Emmanuel Simon filed 2 apiece, while Obed Bika scored 1. The win puts the PNG champions in contention for a home final after tomorrow's last match in Group B qualifiers. Yeah, well done to Lae City over in Vanuatu in Group B, doing well there. After the break, we have a review of Hekari Visva. For the first time in many years, the OFC Champions League group stages has come to the shores of Papua New Guinea. The Group A matches was played here at the Sir John Guise Stadium. Hekari representing PNG in Group A. Here are the highlights. The 10-time NSL premiers and last year's runners-up played host to the Group A fixtures.
an ultimate test for the team in red. With the showdown fixed at the Sir John Guise Stadium, Hekari had big expectations. The first match was against New Zealand title holders, Eastern Suburbs. After coming back 1-0 down to level the scores at 1-1, celebrations were short-lived as the team in white responded just minutes later. Coupled with a red card to talisman, the experienced David Muta.
David Muta receives his second yellow card and he's been sent off.
Hekari were left to defend until the final whistle. On match day 2, Hekari was up against defending champions Yang and Sport from New Caledonia, two teams who lost in the first round. The French-speaking nation was the first to score.
Might be a long corner from Bertrand Kai. It is. Goal!
The homeboys responded with this goal to the South American import.
Third corner for Hekari, taken short this time. And it's out! The Brazilian combination works for them this time! The Brazilian combination has done it for the Reds today!
The Brazilian flair continued this time from a penalty in front minutes into added time first half.
Here's Reyes, he'll tell us what's happening.
A chance for Hekari to make it 2-1!
The two Brazilians have put Hekari Reds up by 2 goals!
The New Caledonian champions weren't letting this one slip as they fought hard to level the scores.
Joseph Atale. Will he be the saviour today?
The exact same position that Vinicius Reis-Kizosen was in. Atale for Yang and Sport!
Atale scores!
This is a really tough game. We lead in the first half. We want to maintain in the second half, but the boys are really tense. They should have calmed the game down and keep more position for the ball so that it will save us. But it's a running game. It's really tough today.
Yeah, you had your opposition challenging you on every ball. Was that a determining factor today?
Yes, especially last 20 minutes. Yeah, they push us back, but the boys stood up very well. Try to contain them, hold them, make sure we don't allow any goal. But then they force us to make a corner kick, and then we had a mistake there, and they equalized.
You had some problems in your midfield today with the obvious absence of David Muta. Was that something that determined the outcome of the score today?
No, to me, I think it's not a big problem. But in the midfield, I think the Brazilian Vinicius played really hard. As you know, he tried to manage his hamstring, but now you can see him limping. So hopefully we'll recover well before the last game. So that's why it's really hold us back, especially when we defend, because we don't have number. We only have Foster there and also young Willie. But these two did very well today.
What about the injuries heading into the next match?
Well, at the moment we need to check. Today or tomorrow we need to check with the official and doctors, and we will see who's injured. But if we have 1 or 2 injury, then the last game they will miss out. But hopefully they will recover in time.
A loss in the first game, a draw in the second game. What will be the plan for the third game?
Well, we registered 1 point today. I think it's not over yet. We'll try our very best on Saturday. If we win on Saturday, then it will put us in a good position in a way that we might qualify. But it's not over yet. We'll give our best.
Thank you very much and all the best.
Thank you.
Yeah, Hekari has one more match to go on Saturday. Don't go away. You're watching Sports Scene. More after the break.
Welcome back. You're watching Sports Now. Before we end things here on the show, let's review the Have Your Say segment from last week where we raised the question, do you think it is fair for NRL great Darren Lockyer to be making appearances around the country while he is a shareholder of Mere Resources Holdings, a company that is pushing to mine coal in Gulf Province? Now, basically, Darren Lockyer has been visiting the country over the last couple of months. He's been visiting the country, very much involved with communities in the areas of Eastern Islands Province with Rugby League, although he's also a shareholder with Mere Resources, and we've posted a question on Facebook, and we've had some feedback as well. Bradley, your final thoughts on that question?
Yeah, well, look, the response has been overwhelming on social media after we posted the question in light of the recent weeks of conversations that have been going on regarding Darren Lockyer's involvement with the coal mining company, and also his involvement in Rugby League.
Yeah, and look, most of them are sharing the same sentiments, which I've stated last week, and obviously the Oro governor is not the only one that's, you know, pushing strongly against Darren Lockyer and all the likes of him being part of this and using Rugby League as a platform to drive their agenda on. Most of these ones that actually commented on our question online as well have expressed remarks that are along the lines that they don't see this as Darren Lockyer being here with good intentions. So let's take a look at some of the feedback from the public.
Yeah, well, look, great conversations there. Moving on to cricket now. A local village cricket competition heads into its playoffs this weekend. This is the Kira Kira Ogo T20 cricket competition. After a 7-year absence, the Koitabu village, synonymous for producing some of PNG's best cricketers in the 1980s and 1990s, is restoring the gentleman's sport once more.
Village cricket at its best, the Kira Kira Ogo T20 cricket. The 2019-2020 edition heads into the playoffs this weekend following the conclusion of its season proper.
We're going to have a final four. We have 6 teams, and then our finals format is just top 4. Next week, 1 will be playing against 2, and then 3 will be playing against 4. So the winner of 1 and 2 will go straight to the grand final match, and then they will wait for the grand final. 3 and 4, the winner will advance on and play with the loser of 1 and 2. And then the winner from that game will go advance on to the grand final. So on the grand final match, we'll be also having the 3rd placing playoff in the morning, and in the afternoon we'll have the grand final match.
The village cricket was run for 10 weeks, minus the festive period break.
It's a good challenge for us because over the past 7 years we haven't been playing cricket. The town comp, the POMCA, and also village cricket, we haven't been playing cricket for the last 7 years. So starting it this year, last year November, we've had a lot of challenges. The rules, 2020 rules, the rules are new to us, and then we're just trying to get into the system and all of this. So we face a lot of challenge, but thankfully we're finishing off now, and then we are into the finals. So
the Koitabu village has representative players from the PNG Barramundis taking part in various teams, including Hiri Hiri.
I think the boys have the ability to play cricket and they have the skills, but it's just the commitment and the passion of playing cricket.
The competition was reignited after 7 years' absence.
It brings a lot of memory. I started to represent my country, Papua New Guinea, at the age of 14 as a spin bowler. Then I went to open the batting for Barramundi. That was in like 88, some 30 years ago. As you can see now at the village competition, what we have done is we've divided all the former players, former cricketers, international players and senior players, divide them into the 6 clubs, and we are doing the management side of it and the sponsorship side of it. The game is much faster than we were playing like 60 overs, 50 over matches. This is 2020. It is much faster, but these young boys have to really think. Cricket is a gentleman's game. You're going to think every ball, every delivery, what you're going to do next, you're going to really think quickly. So I think that's the only change. I believe the players have to adapt themselves with the current situation, what's happening around them. And they enjoy their cricket. They're scoring over 200 runs, so I'm really happy for them.
There you have it, people in Kirakira and of course the surrounding communities. That is something you can always check out this weekend as well. Apart from that, let's take a look at what else is coming up this weekend. There you have it. Be sure to go out and show support for your local teams or competitions. And if you're in Port Moresby, the NFS National Football Stadium or the Sir John Guise Stadium is where you should go if you want to check out the OFC final match or the trial matches that will be happening at the NFS. Now, to be featured on the show, if you know of an amazing sporting story, or you would also like to be part of the Have Your Say segment, and if you have an interesting topic, you can always email us at sports@emtv.com.pg, or you can message us on Facebook, that's on our Sports In page, or you can call us on 3129 and ask to speak to any one of us, whether Bradley or myself. We'll be more than happy to assist you. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I'm Deniros Raiko.
And I'm Bradley Valenaki. Thanks for your company. Good night.
Coming up next week.